Hi, my name is Mike Sims, and today we're talking about how to load SketchUp models into Autodesk Revit architecture. So to start with, we'll need to open up our SketchUp model that we want to transfer into Revit. And notice that the red and green axes in SketchUp, notice I've put the base of the component against those axes. This is important. When you import your model into Revit, it uses those axes to set the base level of the object. So if, for instance, you were to create the top of the countertop at that level and then have your legs below it, in Revit, your legs would be below the floor. So when you're modeling in SketchUp, just remember to always have the very bottom of the component against those axis lines. You can fix that in Revit if you have already modeled your component in SketchUp below those lines by adjusting the offset. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. Okay, so once you're done with your model, you can hit File and then Save As. And in order to be imported into Revit, we're actually going to have to back save this to a SketchUp 5 or version 5 file. So on the Save As type, you're going to hit the down arrow and select SketchUp version 5, and then name your file. And select the file, or select the folder you want to place it in, and then click Save. Okay, at this point we can close down our SketchUp model, and we're going to open up Revit. Now, if you're already in your model in Revit, go ahead and close that out, and we're going to need to go to the new conceptual mask creator first. So under Families, hit New Conceptual Mask, and then select Mask. On SketchUp components, there's no need to do adaptive components because none of the options are adjustable once you get the model into Revit from SketchUp. That only works on components actually made in Revit. So the first thing we'll need to do is set our work plane. So select level 1 and hit Set. And then we can insert our model. And to do that, go up to Insert, go to Import CAD, and then make sure that under Files of Type, that SketchUp Files is selected. I've done this a few times, so mine was defaulted to SketchUp Files, but usually it's going to be set to DWG or DXF. So go ahead and select SketchUp Files, and then open the folder that you saved your SketchUp model in, and select the model, and it appears in our model at that point. So now that the model is in Revit, this would be the point at which, if you transferred from SketchUp and any part of the component was below the red or green axis, you can click on the component and then use your base offset here to adjust that level so that when you import it into your model, it won't be below floor level. Okay, and as I mentioned before, you cannot assign materials to it if the component was made outside of Revit. It's going to appear in your model as kind of a dark gray metallic color. So what you can do is assign it an Omni-class number. So we're going to assign this one, because this is metal kitchen casework. We're going to go into Equipment and Furnishings, go to Casework, and we'll Casework Components, and we'll just say this is a work surface. Alright, now we can save our family. So to do this, go to the Revit button, click Save As, and Family. Name your file, and select the folder you want to save it in. Sorry. If it shows .skp on the end of your file name, you need to delete that also. Okay, now we can close out of the conceptual math creator and open up the model that you want to place the component in. Okay, now before you import your component, you need to go to a 3D view. So I'm going to go to 3D Interior Architecture so that I can see where I'm placing the model. And then one thing you need to make sure is you need to go to Visibility and Graphics in your Properties menu. Hit Edit, and then make sure that Mass is checked. Usually, if you've just created the view, it's not checked, in which case any models that you import are not going to be visible in the view. So just make sure that's checked and click OK. Then you'll go to Insert, Load Family, and then you select the folder in which you saved your component family and open that up. And now we can go to Home, go to Component, and then your component that you just loaded should appear. And you see here it is appearing in the model also. And so we'll just place it in the floor to begin with, and we can move it in a second. If you accidentally hit a wall when you're importing your model, it'll actually assign it as attached to that wall. And so if you try and move it up or down, it won't work correctly. So then we can just place it, and you're done. And that is how you import a SketchUp file into Revit Architect.